today starts at Horseshoe Falls car park at the foot of the Velvet Hill. We will head down between the Shropshire Union Canal and the River Dee along to the falls themselves, before returning to visit the Chainbridge. From there we will head up over the Velvet Hill and return down into the rear of the hill, passing by Valle Crucis, the Abbey. After a quick tour of the Abbey, we will wander through the farmlands back to the canal, following it back to the car park. Whilst today this area attracts numerous different people to its idyllic shores, including walkers, fishers and canoeists, this distinctively shaped 460-metre long weir certainly adds to the splendour of the landscape. Today you can see canoers slide their canoes off the edge of these falls to the river rapids below, but Thomas Telford designed this weir for a far more practical purpose. This section of the canal and weir were constructed following authorisation by an Act of Parliament obtained by the Ellesmere Canal Company. The weir and this section of the canal which connects to the Chester Canal was designed by Thomas Telford and completed in 1808. The weir would provide much needed water to the canal from the River Dee. This chain bridge across the River Dee was originally built in 1817 to transport coal from the Llangollen Canal to the newly built A5. The bridge has been rebuilt a number of times since its first construction in 1817 and was an important link between the Llangollen Railway and the canal. The current bridge was restored in 2015, allowing the public to cross it by foot. Velvet Hill is owned by the National Trust. The trail up the hill is fairly well formed and easy to climb. The views across the rolling hills and Llangollen Valley from the top are simply spectacular. Most of the trail is via the cleared grassy path, and whilst today the bright sunshine and dry winter weather make this route a complete joy to walk, it would be unsurprising if the path did deteriorate to mud fairly quickly in heavy rain, particularly on the route back down. Nonetheless, on a clear day, the views from the top are more than worth the gentle and short climb to the top. Having reached the top, all that's left is to take the compulsory snapshot. made our way back down the hill, resting briefly on a small rock. In the horizon we could see the Abbey. This was where we were heading to next. Valle Crucis Abbey, translated as the Valley of the Cross, is a Cistercian abbey previously named the Abbey Church of the Blessed Virgin Mary. The abbey was built in 1201 and dissolved in 1537 during the dissolution of monasteries. Since then the building fell into disrepair, and although it is now a ruin, large parts of the original structure still survive. The location on which the abbey was raised was originally established as a colony for 12 monks from Strata Marcella, an earlier abbey located on the western banks of the River Severn near Welshpool. The original wooden structure was replaced with stone structures of roughly faced rubble. The completed abbey is believed to have housed up to 6 brethren, 20 choir monks and 40 lay monks who carried out the day-to-day duties including agricultural work. Its Latin name, Valley of the Cross, refers to the nearby 9th century pillar, erected for the glory of the Welsh chieftain. The abbey hosted lavish parties, and on its dissolution only Tintern Abbey was more wealthy. But the abbey wasn't simply a place of prayer. For 3 turbulent centuries it was a working community whose livelihood depended on a series of outlying farms known as granges. Life there was very different depending on whether you were a choir monk or a lay brother. A monk spent his life in prayer and study, attending 8 separate services every day in the Abbey church. When he wasn't praying, he was copying manuscripts. The lay brothers rose at dawn and, unless it was a Sunday or a feast day, went out to graft in the fields. They ate in their own refectory and slept in their own dormitory. They even worshipped in a different part of the church, separated from the choir monks by a screen. As we follow the banks of the canal back to the car park, you can't help but be in awe of the wonder of this walk. From the tranquil Horseshoe Falls to the peaks of the Velvet Hill and its wondrous views, or the historic and atmospheric Abbey, this walk is sure to have something to delight everyone.